Ever felt your heart race, your palms sweat, or your mind spiral out of control over something that hasn't even happened yet? You're not alone. These sensations are part of your brain's built-in alarm system, a system that's meant to protect you but can often go haywire. Today, we're diving deep into the science behind worry and anxiety, breaking down exactly what's happening in your brain when those anxious thoughts start to take over. 1. What is anxiety? The basics. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's clarify what anxiety really is. In simple terms, anxiety is your brain's natural response to stress. It's a feeling of fear or apprehension about what's to come. Think of it as your brain's way of saying, "Hey, something might be wrong here. Pay attention." In small doses, anxiety can be helpful. It keeps you alert and ready for action. But when it becomes overwhelming or chronic, that's when it can start to interfere with your life. 2. The brain's anxiety circuit. Meet the amygdala. Let's get acquainted with the star of the show, the amygdala. This almond-shaped cluster of neurons is your brain's fear center. Whenever you encounter something threatening, whether it's a snarling dog or a tough exam, the amygdala jumps into action. It sends out an alarm, triggering your body's fight or flight response. Your heart starts pounding, your muscles tense up, and your senses become sharper, all in preparation to either fight the threat or run away from it. 3. The prefrontal cortex, the brain's rational side. But it's not all panic and fear in your brain. Enter the prefrontal cortex, your brain's rational thinking side. This part of your brain is responsible for decision-making, problem-solving, and controlling impulses. When the amygdala sounds the alarm, it's the prefrontal cortex job to evaluate whether the threat is real and decide how to respond. In a well-functioning brain, the prefrontal cortex can often calm the amygdala down, saying, "Relax, it's not that big of a deal." But sometimes, this system doesn't work as smoothly as it should. 4. When the alarm won't turn off. Chronic anxiety. So what happens when your brain's alarm system gets stuck in the on position? This is where chronic anxiety comes in. For some people, the amygdala is hyperactive, constantly sending out alarms even when there's no real threat. It's like living in a constant state of emergency, where even minor things, like an upcoming presentation or a crowded room, can trigger intense anxiety. This ongoing state of alertness can lead to both mental and physical exhaustion. You might find yourself unable to sleep, constantly on edge, or struggling to focus on everyday tasks. And because your brain is so busy worrying about potential threats, it can be hard to enjoy the present moment or relax. 5. The role of neurotransmitters, the brain's chemical messengers. Now let's talk chemistry. Don't worry, we'll keep it simple. Your brain uses chemicals called neurotransmitters to communicate between neurons. Two of the key players in anxiety are serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin is often referred to as the feel-good chemical because it helps regulate mood, sleep, and appetite. When serotonin levels are low, you might feel more anxious or depressed. Dopamine, on the other hand, is associated with pleasure and reward. It's what makes you feel good when you achieve something or enjoy an activity. But here's the kicker. Dopamine also plays a role in your brain's threat detection system. When you're constantly worried, your brain's reward system can get thrown out of balance, making it harder to feel happy or motivated. When these neurotransmitters are out of balance, it can contribute to feelings of anxiety. That's why many treatments for anxiety, like certain medications, aim to adjust these chemical levels in the brain, helping to restore a sense of calm and well-being. 6. The evolutionary perspective. Why we're wired to worry. Ever wonder why anxiety is so common? The answer lies in our evolutionary past. Back in the days of our ancestors, worry was a crucial survival tool. Imagine living in a world where predators could strike at any moment. Being able to quickly recognize danger and react to it was essential for survival. Our brains evolved to be hyper-aware of threats, keeping us safe from harm. Fast forward to today, and our environment has drastically changed. We're no longer worried about being chased by wild animals, but our brains are still wired to respond to threats, real or imagined. This means that modern-day stressors like work deadlines or social pressures can trigger the same intense reactions as life or death situations did for our ancestors. In a way, our brains haven't caught up with our relatively safe and comfortable modern lives. 7. Breaking the cycle, how to calm your brain's anxiety response. So, how do we turn down the volume on that internal alarm? The good news is, there are several techniques that can help calm your brain's anxiety response. One of the most effective is deep breathing. When you slow down your breathing and take deep, controlled breaths, it sends a signal to your brain that everything is okay, helping to reduce the intensity of the anxiety response. Another powerful tool is mindfulness meditation. By focusing on the present moment and observing your thoughts without judgment, you can create a sense of distance from your anxiety. This can help your prefrontal cortex take the reins, allowing you to respond more calmly and rationally to stress. Physical activity is also a great way to reduce anxiety. Exercise releases endorphins, your body's natural mood boosters, and helps regulate the levels of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Even a short walk can make a big difference in how you feel. And let's not forget about the importance of social support. Talking to someone you trust about what's bothering you can help you process your feelings and gain perspective. Sometimes just knowing that someone else understands can make all the difference. 8. Rewiring your brain, building resilience against anxiety. While calming your brain's immediate response to anxiety is important, building long-term resilience is the key to managing anxiety over time. One way to do this is by rewiring your brain through positive habits. For example, practicing gratitude has been shown to increase levels of serotonin, helping to improve mood and reduce anxiety. Journaling can also be a powerful tool. Writing down your thoughts and feelings allows you to process them in a more structured way, helping to break the cycle of rumination, those repetitive, negative thought patterns that fuel anxiety. By identifying and challenging these thoughts, you can start to change the way your brain responds to stress. Learning new skills or hobbies can also help rewire your brain. When you engage in activities that challenge you in a positive way, your brain releases dopamine, creating a sense of reward and accomplishment. This not only boosts your mood, but also builds your confidence in your ability to handle challenges. And don't underestimate the power of self-compassion. Being kind to yourself, especially during times of stress, can help reduce the intensity of the anxiety response. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling anxious, try acknowledging your feelings with understanding and patience. Over time, this can help shift your brain's response to stress from one of fear to one of resilience. 9. When to seek help, understanding when anxiety becomes unmanageable. While there are many strategies you can use to manage anxiety on your own, it's important to recognize when it's time to seek professional help. If anxiety is interfering with your daily life, if you're avoiding situations you used to enjoy, struggling to focus at work or school, or feeling overwhelmed more often than not, it might be time to reach out to a mental health professional. Therapy, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can provide you with additional tools to manage anxiety and change unhelpful thought patterns. In some cases, medication may also be recommended to help regulate the neurotransmitters in your brain, making it easier to manage anxiety in conjunction with therapy. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a proactive step toward taking control of your mental health. Everyone's journey with anxiety is different, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. The key is to find what works best for you and to know that it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the science of worry. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe for more insights on mental health and well-being. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. There's a whole community here to support you. Take care, and until next time, stay balanced.